family, welcome to the One House Build, man. It's your boy Divine Mind. As always, we're gonna bring in the spirit of ancestors. We're gonna continue to try to be voices in the city, man. Last Saturday we was out in Gate City doing the cleanup. It went well. We passed out Hidden Colors 1 and 2. We'll be back out there all this month. Saturday from 2 to 6. If you ain't doing nothing on your Saturdays, come check us out. We're gonna give y'all a little build this time dealing with the Fiat system, dealing with fractional reserves and things of that nature. So I'm gonna let the good brother Kellen Capra start the build. We'll add, man, from this way, from left to right, man, some insight on it.
That's what's up. Basically, we talking about the fiat currency. Fiat, in a nutshell, means a decree by word of mouth, basically. So we talking about the fiat currency. The reason why the money system that we have in place has value is because somebody in the government or in an establishment said it has power. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically what it is.
What you want me to add to it? Like,
I mean,
wherever you want
to go with it, man.
I mean, basically, so yeah. I think, and that's how like a lot of this inflation happens, and like how our monetary system has like declined. Like even the dollar was introduced in like somewhere like 1913. The dollar is like worth like 92% less than what it was worth in 1913. Like when it came out, the dollar could buy so much stuff. Like now, if you look at the dollar, like a dollar, I pull it out, and now like the government, I pull out $1. Now it's worth $1 million. So I hand this to you. Now you got $1 million. And then now I take it back because it's only worth $1. And so basically that's what fiat currency is. Like I can tell you what the value of this is by word of mouth. I say what this is.
And see, and the whole dollar transaction is dealing with our government and this entity called the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is not directly connected to our government. You hear the word federal, a lot of people think it's directly connected. So what they do when they create this currency, that's like a bubble, and they get these fake notes called government bonds. So they might print up some colorful paper, call them government bonds, and say we're gonna trade 1 million government bonds, and y'all gonna give us $1 million. So with these fractional reserves, when they get it, that 1 million can actually trickle down to 10 million. What I'm saying is, if I say if they got that million, when they give it off, they gonna that same million replicates to the bank they traded off. So that's how you get the inflation, to show you that that it has no value. And once before, like you said, how the money value was switched, there was a time where the money was backed up by gold.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Once we got off the gold standard, it was a wrap.
And which made that made money debt. Do you realize that like 80% of the money only exists on a computer? This is why they go into the thing to where they're phasing out dollars, where they're trying to have everybody set up bank accounts, direct deposit. If you don't direct deposit, they make it so much of a runaround that you just like, well, go ahead and set up a bank account because you're gonna have to wait 2 weeks or a month before you get your check. So it's not a coincidence. This is to merge you away from that. So now we can set the value anytime because we're not even exchanging money. It's just numbers on the screen. Then I can just up and down it like that. And this is the next dynamic of that. And I feel like that's deep. And we gotta realize that there is no value. And I also heard that if all the dollars were out of circulation, that that the debts would be covered. If everybody covered that debt, there would be no money in circulation. That's what I meant to say.
Absolutely.
Hey, do y'all think that has anything to do with the whole Gaddafi situation? With the gold currency he was thinking about setting up?
What Gaddafi was about to do was, he was finna crush the Federal Reserve System. He was about to set up an African central bank. And Africa is already a self-sustained continent. It's the richest continent on the planet. It's the only continent that doesn't have to export and import for a means of sustainability. You know what I mean? So when setting up that bank, that would have crushed the Federal Reserve System.
You got to realize that America is now using the citizens as collateral. You have an account just set up as a business, because you know the word persons according to law is a business or a corporation. So this account that they trade is kind of how they get value. And you got to understand, like I said, that America is not a part of the Federal Reserve. If you do your research and look at who's America's #1 debtor, who they owe the most amount of money to, is the Fed, the Federal Reserve. So our own country is multi-trillions in debt with a small group of private bankers on Jekyll Island. These are a group of families. So this ain't even a whole nation. Our nation owes a group of families. You see what I mean? Which is a whole deeper situation. But that's just a touch onto the fiat, man. Research things like artificial person, natural person. Research fractional reserves. Research the fiat currency system. Is there anything that y'all brothers want to add to the fiat currency bill?
Well, I just want to let the family know out there, when we think fiat, and we mainly think about physical paper dollars actually come to mind. You feel me? But at the same time, remember, family, think numbers. Like you bro already says, numbers. If we think numbers, just keep the numbers moving. You feel me? Yeah. So mainly, my point of view is like check out income tax season, for example. A lot of, you know what I'm saying, high income individuals that stay off of 280, Mountain Brook, you know what I'm saying, all these so-called, you know what I'm saying, blue collars and whatnot and so forth, and officials and whatnot that work down in Birmingham, but they go take the money back to where they at, right, in the resources, you know what I'm saying? So the whole deal is, what I'm saying, is income tax come for them, they don't need to see that. You know what I mean? They don't even touch that. But we do different. We get 25, 35, 4,500, and you know what I'm saying, we on the whim because them stacks look nice. You feel me? Physically, you feel me?
Yeah.
So, but we ain't thinking numbers.
Come on with
You know what I mean? Keep that in there. You know what I mean? Go put that, invest that in that. Get a lean on that. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I just go to my people on all levels who talking about saving and doing this and that too, you feel me? So yeah, exactly, man. So, you know, just an investment tip on the fiat level, you feel me? While we discussing that, you know what I mean? It's all, you know.
Yeah, because the real value is you know what I'm saying, the land. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so you gotta know when you get the fiat, you gotta know where to place the fiat. You know what I'm saying? So when you play the fiat, you got banks. It's a bank game, like you were speaking of the families. You know what I'm saying? They know how to play the bank game. They put it and set up loans and set up ways for their children. You know what I'm saying? When they get to a certain age and they keep turning, we got a way away from, you know what I'm saying, having to set up for our, you know what I'm saying, our future. And that's the cutoff point. Now you got the same thing going on, like a chain reaction of, you know what I'm saying, being a dick. So, you know, it's time now we need to start putting our money where our mouth is. If we want to say we want to do something, we got to, you know, really get the acres and really start tilling the land and breaking the land and really building up our own house we got 2000. You look at, you know what I'm saying, the Mexicans, you know, they came in the revolution in 2000. They building their own thing, and people start seeing it, and they start building for the people, for little nothing.
It's a fact.
They just took the numbers, like bro was just saying, they had enough of them, you know what I'm saying, unity, so.
And that's what we need to do, because we realize that there is no value, real value in this paper. We need to use these as a resource, because the real thing is like you said, getting the land, setting up this institution, setting up things that make self-sustaining wealth. You see what I'm saying? Because money is cool, but we need to set up an economic system.
Yeah.
And I feel like blacks lack a self-sustaining economy. We got a lot of black folks that's getting money, but where's the black economy?
Absolutely.
You see, and I feel like, you know, we can set the groundwork to setting up a self-sustaining black economy in Birmingham, because I feel like we got 79% black. There's only 3 more places in the nation with a higher percentage of black folks. So I feel like, you know, we got a good chance of doing that here if we really focus the energy, man, on a goal, on some projects, and really utilizing those things that's gonna push us forward.
And I think we also too forget like that having a business is not the same thing as having industry. You know what I'm saying? Like we confuse like black business with black industry. Like we're not producing anything. Like we're buying into, like we bought into consumerism, and we've essentially bought into like debt and these generational traps of poverty. Like this self-perpetuating poverty is actually what we bought into. Like we don't even think large enough. Like, you know, like I got a shirt on. Who made this shirt? You see what I'm saying? Where did it come from? You know what I'm saying? I got a cell phone in my pocket. Black folk ain't making these. You see what I'm saying? We not, you know what I'm saying? We not making the cars. We not making the computers.
Like I say, even tissue, we ain't got no toilet paper.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't think large enough. You see what I'm saying? We're not producing. We're not producing. You see what I'm saying?
You have to take your
no disrespect to the businesses, like you said, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but a lot of these businesses are, where you getting your products from? Right. Who is putting the stuff in your business?
You see what I'm saying?
So like, are you really a middleman?
Right. See,
for their industry?
That's what I try to say.
We really self-producing.
And that's what I try to
tell. Those that's doing it, but I don't.
And I support black business and what you want to do. But when we look at things like holistically and we look at things on a larger scale, in many ways you're acting as an intermediary between an industry and the people and the consumer.
And
So
I'm
the
glad
bottom
you
line
said
is
that.
a black business shouldn't be the end all be all. We should elevate that
It's
into
a black industry.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And we got a small example of trying to work with that now with Brookview Farm. We got 25 black farmers willing to work. We're trying to get these foods grown and served to these black-owned restaurants. Now, that's a small example of that because we know that these are black farmers supplying these black restaurants. That's one small step of setting up that self-sustaining what? We're getting the food from the black farms into the black restaurants. There's gonna be people that need to work those farms. So we need brothers that need jobs, go work the farms. These farmers can pay you to work these farms. So that's another way that we can get these things going. And is other businesses open, they gonna need workers. You see what I'm saying? And we must focus on spending money. We must go out our way. And for lack of better words, we must have intentions with every dollar we spend and say, I'm gonna make sure that this dollar circulates the black community. Because when you look at the circulation of the fiat, even though it's a paper game, the white dollar circulates about what, 20 days? Or is it the Jewish dollar? I think it's the Jewish dollars. Then it circulates about 20 days before it leaves the community. Then you have the Jewish dollars is like 20. Then you have the regular white American dollars is like 12. And then you have the black American that don't even leave. It leaves in 24 hours. It don't even circulate around a day because think about it. Where do we really go to really spend?
Outside our own community.
We can't. So it's like it's a cycle of perpetual debt. And I feel like this is why this is imposed. And this is why it's scary. And it's not that folks don't want to see black people come up, because some people say that we want to see it come, but it's a struggle. I was at a meeting with an elder that said he had a business. He said he had a business that was across from some Arabs. And he said with that he was catering to the youth at that time. He wasn't really conscious, so he had a bunch of candy. So that's what the draw. The kids wanted to get the candy because he had the candy for a cheaper price. But with that, you in that store, you gonna shop there if you already got your kids there. So the Arabs had about 5 stores around the community, because you can attest to that now. If you go to one store, you might go down the block, you see the same dude working from there to there. The dude told me on everything that the Arabs told them, if y'all keep shopping with that black store across the street, we won't shop with you. They told the retailers, all 5 of our stores gonna stop shopping if you shop with that store across the street.
Wow.
Now, let's go back into this, how it also goes. I had a friend of mine that they wanted to have a hair store, black hair store in what's that, Alabaster. Now, did you know that if you have hair, and most of them regulated by Chinese people, that if I have a hair store, you can't have none of the hair I have in a mile radius. So if your store a mile from me, if you set up a hair store by them Chinese folks, if you a mile from them, the hair brands they got, you can't get. But if they was family, they wouldn't be tripping. Yeah, you can get it. But if you competition, nope. So that means all the good hair, they didn't claim up. And you got to get the knockoff hair, because it's like you can't have the same brands I got. You got to get your own brands.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a monopoly. So unless we intentionally say, look, man, I don't care if I got to get this hair because y'all keeping the sister from getting that hair, I'm going to get that hair. Because I know what y'all doing. We gotta be willing to sacrifice. I say we ain't gonna get no damn hair at all. We gonna put our money in something else, because we gonna stop y'all getting rich there.
We gotta be purposeful. Like we gotta think. Like we gotta be intentional in what we're doing and purposeful in what we're doing. Because I think we lose focus, and it's so easy for us to lose focus because it's so many disparities that we're trying to like overcome. Like it's so many disparities in our community. Like we trying to hit this, we trying to hit that, we trying. You know what I'm saying? Black folk getting killed, and next thing pop up, black folk poor, and next thing coming up, black folk in the healthcare industry, black girls in the house,
black man religion.
You know what I'm saying? So it's so much stuff that we trying to combat that we lose focus. But I think like people have to have their area of specialization, and they need to stick to that. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
So
like you said, but we gotta just really be focused on just pushing the race and the culture forward.
Absolutely.
Be think outside the box, man. Be willing to go up and do it, man. Just put your feet to the ground and put your ideas out there, man. You know, work.
Yeah.
Have to be doing what you doing. Have to do something, man. Do something to push it forward.
We at war, man. We at war. Like I was reading, I think the good brother Lamar Johnson was saying how comparing business strategy to war strategy. I mean, economics is war. You know what I mean? Like when you talk about the numbers game, it's serious, man. It was like how back onto the to the banks and how they operate with the fractional reserve. The game they playing, like you hit it on the head with the numbers game, man. What they do is like, say you deposit $1,000 into a bank, right? With the fractional reserve system, they got a right to say, okay, they'll take this $1,000 and say, now we got $10,000 in the bank available for you. You know what I mean? So the next person comes and gets a loan, they charging them at whatever interest rate that they want to get money from the money that they don't even have. You know what I mean?
So from your money, they get money from your money.
But who cannot go in there and get the loan? We can. But who goes in there and get the loan?
Foreign and everybody else.
They do. So move in our community and do things like what you see downtown.
And it's funny that and then like what they did is sit down stuff with the store. But this is what also makes it hard for them to release us from the chains, so to speak, metaphysically, because we are the backbone of their riches. I mean, think about it. If we start shopping with ourselves and keeping our dollars circulating, they say black folks is poor, but we're the #1 spenders. That means we are the backbone of the economy. That means if we not shopping with them, that means if we didn't go to the Arabs and give them all our money, they gonna be bad. It's like, how we gonna eat? We need y'all to shop with us. Y'all the spenders. And this is why there's a focus on shutting down the black community. That's why so many smoke and mirrors, because we are the life force of holding up that system. And that's why they don't never want us to have the self-determination and say, look, this system is cool, but we could be doing better with our own. Not saying that we gotta unplug completely, but there must be a stringent strategy on total economics.
America,
but I know it's
enough money
it takes a
to
bit,
be
you
the
know.
I mean, I
Go
know
ahead,
it's
go
wrong,
ahead.
but it's real, what I gotta say real short. Black people in America, we spend enough money to top 15. I think it's like
That's a powerhouse, in my opinion. That's a powerhouse. We can do something with that. So it's like, it ain't that we don't have the money, it's just misappropriated. Misappropriated and it's not collected. So I feel like the nation is built. We ain't really gotta do much to build the nation. We haven't seen it. But until then, what we can do is build a tangible village for people that want to do it. With this one house movement, people that's on, we have a small collective right now, and we gotta really be family. We gotta be family, and then we also gotta energize and do what we do to collect our own economics. So when you see us, when the people see us, we ain't no poor righteous teachers. We wealthy righteous teachers. They see this, how y'all get this wealth. How they do that? So it's like we gotta shine, man. We gotta do more than just talk. We gotta shine. You feel me? And once we shine, we all can shine. You feel me? So with that being said, man, that's the this week's bill for the fiat currency, man. Y'all see us again next week, man.
One house.